Falsely thoughts, race, life's a twisted place. No time to erase.
All right, we got a David Rodriguez. I'm not sure who was first. Got David Rodriguez, a person with a cherry, and someone else. And we're gonna go ahead and keep on trucking. David, how's it going?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm all right. You have any political affiliation?
I'm Republican.
You're a Republican. Cool. And you're over 18 for TikTok purposes, correct?
47.
Awesome. All right, you think I should vote for Trump?
Yeah, I'm voting for Trump.
All right, why should I vote for Trump?
So last night I was watching Levine, right? So I think Kamala's running on this issue that Trump intervened with the whole border decision, saying that it was a bipartisan. So correct me if I'm wrong on this, but so the votes were in, and something that he came out with. There were 6 Democrats who voted against it, and I think Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren were I forgot her last name, were part of that group to deny that. Did you hear about that?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't hear about it. Okay, I didn't hear about it till last night. I was like, why is she running that? Trump got a hold of it and wanted to run on it when it's not true.
It is true. When the bill that they had over the border had things that both Republicans and Democrats wanted. Basically, an increase of border patrol, even funding for the wall that Trump said he wanted to do, all that good stuff, right? Reining in ICE and reforming ICE and all that good stuff, which is what Democrats wanted. It had all that in it. In the 11th hour, all the Republicans or the Republicans who should have voted for it to get it passed voted against it because Trump wanted to run on that policy. He told them to vote against it.
So why would 6 Democrats vote against it?
Because those Democrats in particular, especially Bernie Sanders, he doesn't like the border policy. He doesn't think we should do what we're doing on the border. Basically, increasing border security, the wall, all that good stuff. They don't believe that, so he voted against it.
And Elizabeth as well?
Yeah, and they voted against it.
Don't you find that a little odd?
No, they've always Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders have always been against the type of policies we have on the border. They never supported ICE. They never supported the border wall. They never supported more border patrol. They never supported any of that. So why would they vote for it?
It was something that I came across yesterday. I heard yesterday, and I was like, man, I never heard that before.
Yeah, there were some Democrats who voted against it. I don't deny that, but they voted against it based on their more progressive mindset. Like me, for example, when it comes to the entire border thing, I have a completely different idea on how to fix that. I think we just do Schengen.
I mean, I'm married to a Colombian, and I'm doing it the legit rate, the legit way, because it's easily for me to just tell my wife, hey, go to Mexico, and I'll go pick you up. But I'm going through the right channel. If everyone's coming, and I'm from American with my Cuban parents who come from a communist country. So if everyone's coming over here to seek asylum, it should be these communist countries, which is Venezuela and Cuba.
Okay. Do you see the flag on my profile?
Your hate? I can't see.
That's Haiti.
Okay. I mean, I'm not too familiar with Haiti, but is it a communist country?
It's not.
It's not. So how is that seeking political asylum?
Because if you're part of a certain party, or if a certain gang is after you, like for example, when my parents came over, they were under the Duvalier regime. My dad was opposition party, so that means if he stayed in Haiti, guess what could have happened to him?
Then you probably could have killed him.
Exactly, because the Duvalier regime was disappearing people. Now Haiti back then was actually safer, which is actually crazy, because the Duvaliers they didn't play. But if you were opposition party and you spoke out, now they let the opposition party exist, but if you spoke out against them, so my dad had to come over.
Yeah. My grandfather was one of those in Cuba. When Fidel Castro came into power, he spent 15 years in prison because he was against the government.
The Castros, exactly. Yep. But I think my main point is that just them being communist doesn't mean that just because it's not communist doesn't mean that they don't need asylum. There are actually people who live in like gangland territories where the gangs are really after them, and if they stay there and if they go back, the gang is gonna take them out.
Yeah,
That happened to
like
my
I
uncle.
understand. Yeah, I understand the whole Venezuela situation, Venezuelans in general, because they're just picking up everything that happened between Cuba because of the previous president that was in Cuba, but they're picking up the same ordeal. So, as a matter of fact, I have 6 employees that are Venezuelans, and they're all good people. But I hear everything that's coming in through the border, they're all bad people.
I mean, like the thing is when it comes to the border, the best way to matter of fact, it was if you want to see if you want to stop people from coming over, we should actually do what Kamala Harris did, because she went to the Northern Triangle and she talked to those people and asked them, why are people actually coming over? And guess what? It was for economic reasons. So she actually made a deal with some businesses down there and said that if we give people more jobs, if you raise their wages, they'll have a better life in their country. And guess what? They won't come over, because we don't get a lot of immigration, a lot of illegal immigration from like Canada. I'm pretty sure we get some illegal immigration from Canada, but not the amount that we see from Central America and the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? We don't see that amount, and that's because Canada is what, a first world country. So if those countries were living better, thanks for the gifts, y'all. If those countries are better off, people aren't gonna come over. So a lot of migrants are again like gangland or economic migrants. If you fix that problem, you're not gonna have an issue at the border. My issue with Trump's border policy is that it doesn't address any of that. He just says close it off, go stay in Mexico. What does that do?
No, you got to get vetted to get it to come in here. Do the right channel, like I'm doing with my wife. And correct me. I mean, I've been waiting for about close to 10 months already. And if you go to Colombia, which I go to Colombia about once every 2 months, man, that shit is pure poverty. I mean, from what I've never been to Haiti, but I know Haiti is right there with it. And
Yeah.
it's pure poverty. Like every girl that you run into, or everyone, oh, you're an American. Let me come to. How can
Yeah,
I
let me
get to the U.S.?
exactly. It's offering you some coochie to come over. I get it. You feel what I'm saying? But like, if you fix that poverty problem, you're gonna fix the entire immigration problem as well. You see what I'm saying? But you
But they
like
can't.
I say that again. I'm sorry.
You can't control these other countries. They're their own thing.
You can't control the other countries, of course, but like the one of the big issues that we have in America is that I always tell people this, right? I always tell people that you're safer from the effects of imperialism when you live inside the empire. So the reason why you see a lot of South Americans and Haitians coming over is because American policy affects these countries. If we stop doing that, maybe they wouldn't come over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we should probably fix our foreign policy, like
Maybe
the
maybe put
entire
it a little bit lenient.
exactly the entire Monroe Doctrine that we've been following since Monroe. We can stop all that. You know what I mean? And maybe these countries will be better off, because like there's a lot of things that the CIA did in South America that caused this entire drug war. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't know that too much of that history.
Yeah, I know a lot about it because it affects my community. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I mean, dude, I mean, I get it. We don't want killers and rapists and none of those people here.
yeah, we don't. I feel that. The thing is, like, there's going to be citizens who are killers and rapists already. You know what I'm saying? But of course, we don't want unalivers and rapists in here. But they're not gonna come in through the legal way. They're always gonna come in through the tunnels and through
Exactly.
trucks and all that other good stuff. But
Yeah.
like the people who are coming to seek asylum, like the vast majority of them are just families with children who just want to live better lives and get away from what's going on in their country. If we can help fix what's going on in their country, which means the poverty situation, if we can help that, then they won't come over. Like
Yeah.
we don't get a lot of illegal immigration from like Barbados, where Rihanna is from, because Barbados is pretty
It's a
well
great
off.
country. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
well.
Same thing with Bahamas.
Yeah. Man, it's a mixed thing, right? So Venezuela. Well, let's talk about Venezuela, right? So they're rich in oil. So why is the U.S. buying oil from them when it's a communist country, and when you're helping them?
Because we need oil. Well, actually, we could make our own oil. We don't have to buy oil from Venezuela. I don't know what that's about. But if I'm not mistaken, Trump did a deal with OPEC where, and I don't think Venezuela is part of OPEC, But Trump did a deal with OPEC to actually stop oil production, and I have to look up the OPEC deal because it doesn't come to my mind right now. But his deal was basically to stop oil production or lower the amount of oil production, and that's why we have high oil prices today. Basically,
We should make our own oil,
we actually do.
but not as much, correct?
Biden
So
actually,
wait. So I'm gonna assume that you are a Kamala supporter, correct?
as of now, yeah.
As of now. So correct me if I'm wrong. When President Trump was in president, he wanted to refill the our reserves at, and I think he got a deal for it. It was like 23 cents a gallon or something like that. Correct?
Yeah.
And everybody was against it. But then here you got Joe Biden doing it at $2.34 or something like that to fill it up. Correct?
To fill what up? Our tanks?
Uh, yeah, our tanks.
Like you're talking about the price of oil?
Yeah,
I mean the price of our price of gas?
to fill up the reserves.
Oh, to fill up the reserves. Now the OPEC deal was basically for oil producers to cut down on their output.
Oh. I don't know. I'm with Trump, man. So that's where I'm at. I'm a business owner, and I definitely saw I was producing a lot more money under Trump than versus Kamala. Even though we still fall under the Trump tax code, but what scares me the most is this whole unrealized capital gains, as I have a lot invested in the stock market and real estate.
Do you make
So
a hundred?
that's a big concern for me.
Are you making over $100,000, $100 million?
100 million? No.
Okay, so it's not on you.
Man, that could. I heard that. I don't know if it's true, but she's not coming out and saying that.
She is. That's on her site.
So if you
Over
make
100. If you make over 100 million, then you get the tax, and that's on households. That's not even on businesses.
Yeah.
I wish it was on businesses.
And that whole part of making over $400,000, dude, my tax rate is like up the roof. I think I'm at like 37%, which is insane.
Yeah,
I
but
get it. I don't mind paying my taxes, but man, damn, 37% is a lot of money.
It used to be 90% under Reagan.
Fuck. Well, I was a fucking baby, man.
Yeah, I was barely born. I was born in '87.
Yeah, no, I was born in 76.
Yeah. So yeah, I was.
90%. Shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, it used to be way higher.
But I'll stick with 22%.
All right, I mean that's all good and well. My issue with the entire thing when it comes to taxes is that if you lower taxes but spend them the same amount, which is what, because those tax cuts have to come from somewhere. You're gonna have to pay for it, have to make up for that windfall somewhere. You know what I mean? So that means that the taxes that those people are not paying, the people who are richer are not paying, who else are gonna pay them? Are they gonna run on a deficit, or the taxes are gonna be raised somewhere else? Which is what he
But
did
man,
with the
there's
tariffs.
loopholes, man. There's loopholes in the system, man. All you have to do is create shell companies. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, pretty much. But the thing is, like, lowering their taxes, that's what happens now. They just create shell companies and don't reinvest.
For instance, I'll give you one that I found out. Trump has an S corporation just for his helicopter, right? So his helicopter cost him $45,000, I think, per year or something for fuel. He'll write off that fuel, pays zero taxes on that. That's great business.
Yeah,
See
but
what the
that.
loophole is on that?
Yeah, but the taxes that could have came for that could have gone to funding other things in our country, like education, and healthcare for children, and free lunch for children. It's great to not pay those taxes, but that affects everybody else.
Yeah, look, I'm all for paying taxes, just not at that 37%, right? Because I obviously came from poverty and I created my business, and thankfully I did it all on my own. But 37% really kind of limits me on how well I can employ more people and stuff like that.
Does it though?
Of course it does.
I mean, when my father owned a business, the thing that affected him wasn't paying the taxes. It was excuse me, it wasn't paying. It wasn't even paying taxes. It wasn't even paying payroll taxes. It was the actual cost of basically doing business, getting
Yeah.
like because if your business is not in high demand, your business is gonna go out. Like for example, when the recession happened, my dad owned like I think 2 or 3 dry cleaners. When the recession happened, everybody was cutting back on going to the dry cleaners. They were either going to laundromats or washing their clothes at home or hand washing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You feel what I'm
Yep.
saying? So
Yeah.
the
Because it's a
demand of
luxury. You got to
is
cut out your luxuries.
exactly. So it was the demand that made him need to sell the business. It wasn't the taxes. The taxes wasn't the problem.
It's a big problem for me because I can only depreciate. So I own a production company, right? So every time I buy equipment, the equipment costs more, and then I can only depreciate it for 7 years, right? So the way I'm finding myself is, as a matter of fact, 2 months ago, I went out and bought another company. And that's the only way to depreciate my money.
Wait, so what type of production company you on? Like cameras or video
So
production
if
or
you
what?
go to a Trump rally, everything, all the sound, all the lights, all the cameras, I own all that stuff.
Oh, okay, that. So your how does taxes affect that? Isn't the cost of the equipment would affect you more than the taxes?
I'm sorry?
One, the cost of the equipment affect you more than the taxes?
No, because it reflects back to me, right? And my employees.
Okay,
So the more I have to pay out to the more I have to pay out to the government, it's less people that I need to. I have to pay health insurance for all these employees. Fuel has gone up, so I have to put that all in, which my customers have to pay for. So it's just a snowball effect, and it all starts with fuel, right? So if I need to go buy video walls or a camera that has to get shipped from wherever, I'm paying more because of fuel prices. But I'm not going to pay for it. The
right,
down
but
client is paying for it.
exactly, but those fuel prices is because of Trump, because of his deal that he made with OPEC to cut down on their production.
No, that's Biden.
No, that was Trump. The OPEC deal wasn't under Biden, it was under Trump.
No, dude, right now I'm sitting at a gas station, right? While I'm charging my car. So right now diesel is $4.89. I have, and each truck that I have, it's about 80 gallons. That's a lot of money.
I understand that, like, because like it is expensive, but that deal that caused those gas prices to raise happened under Trump, because again, OPEC cut down their production. When you have less supply, the price goes up. That was OPEC.
I find that hard to believe when, like I said, under Trump, I think diesel was like $3. Where right now I'm looking at skirting $5.
Right. I understand that, but remember what I said to the last guest. Economic effects have a delay. So if Trump made this deal, I think Trump made that deal in 2020 or 2021. I'm not sure when he made it. I'm gonna look it up. There's going to be a delay if they cut down on their prices. Sure, like as when they cut down on production, yeah, we're gonna have the same prices for a while, and then once the supply starts to get short, guess what's gonna happen? The prices are gonna go up, which is what we're seeing now. Biden didn't make a deal with OPEC. Trump made a deal with OPEC to cut down on production.
Because we're going to make our own oil.
Yeah, and we have been drilling and making our own oil. We're probably not going to see the effects of that until another year or so.
Okay.
But yeah, we're still making our own oil. Biden didn't stop
No,
that.
no, I get that. I heard that we're making our own oil, but not as much. Correct?
Oh yeah, plenty. He Biden gave a whole bunch of permits to federal lands.
All right. Well, it was good talk, man. I gotta go, man.
All right, not a problem, David. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
Brother. All right.
All right, guys. I appreciate you all being here. We have 5.9K people. I'm sorry, 5.9K likes, 120.